Right now, multiple agencies are searching for a Dane County couple who went missing after a Thanksgiving family gathering. We'll hear from their daughter. And a UW-Madison student hopes to become the youngest alder on the city's Common Council. We ask what's motivating him to run. Plus, whether you're hitting the stores or browsing online this Black Friday, we'll share ideas to support the businesses right in your backyard.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
Thanks for joining us. Eric and Charlotte have the night off. If you're headed back from Thanksgiving gatherings or Black Friday shopping, roads could be a little slippery, especially north of Madison. We do have an alert day in the forecast for rain, sleet, and light snow tonight. Let's turn it over to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti with a look at that alert night forecast. Gary?
Well, we might as well just add a little freezing rain in there as well, because that's also a possibility. We have winter weather advisories in effect for areas north of Dane County for this evening and overnight. They begin at 9 p.m. for Richland, Juneau, and Adams counties, and at midnight for Sauk, Columbia, Dodge, Marquette, and Green Lake counties. Already some light precipitation starting to show up on high-resolution Doppler radar, although some of this may not be reaching the ground. Farther to the west, we can see rain and even some thunderstorms across parts of southern Iowa, changing to snow. That's heading up toward the Twin Cities and northern Wisconsin, where winter storm and blizzard warnings are in effect. Those winter weather advisories for the mix of precipitation in between, just north of Madison. Temperatures right now are going to be very critical. We're just above freezing here in Madison. To the south, temperatures are a couple degrees warmer. To the north, though, they're right around freezing, and that's where that mix could take place. So look for a mix of rain and snow, but some sleet and freezing rain mixed in as well overnight. Temperatures, though, will start to rise so that by morning we'll be seeing mainly rain, and tomorrow it looks like a windy and rainy day with a high of 40. We also have some snow in the forecast and another alert day for Sunday. I'll have more details and weather in a few minutes.
All right, sounds like a plan. Thank you, Gary. Law enforcement is asking for our help finding an elderly couple who went missing yesterday after Thanksgiving with their family. They're still searching for them tonight. Amy Reed joins us now with the details that could save this couple's lives. Amy?
These two, Don and Colleen Soper, are both 87 years old. She has Alzheimer's, he has diabetes, which makes it crucial that they're both found as soon as possible. With them having no cell phones or GPS signal, the family is counting on someone in the search party to catch sight of them soon.
Don and Colleen used to love taking drives on country roads. Now that's where law enforcement tries to find them.
This area here.
More than 24 hours after they were last seen.
We're using assistance from the fire departments to go out and hit every road. We're using a map and we're just crossing off the road when we've checked it.
The 87-year-old couple was at Thanksgiving dinner in Black Earth, hoping for a sense of normal that they'd gotten away from since Colleen had to move to assisted care.
They went to take a drive in the country after joining us for a Thanksgiving meal, and they were due to return back to Milestone before dark, and they have not shown up there.
This area at the intersection of Highway 78 and County Highway J is the last spot the Soper's GPS pinged, and it was the starting point for the search on Thanksgiving. Today, they are circling out from here.
With the GPS signal gone, the Dane County Sheriff's Office used the point as a guide in the sky, looking for the 2008 black Dodge Caliber in the spots you couldn't see from the road.
All we can do is search for them and continue to expand our search and pray.
Multiple agencies have joined in, meeting together in Mount Horeb, but all have come up empty. Still, Pam keeps faith.
So you just keep trying to look and you give it to God and just hope. And what will be, will be.
In August, when Colleen went missing for the first time, a silver alert led to her coming home. Pam hopes this time it'll bring them both home again.
And the silver alert worked last time, but you know, now we just need a miracle.
Colleen was last seen wearing a leather coat, red paisley shirt, and white Keds. Don was last seen wearing a black leather coat, and he's about 6'1", but their car might be easier to spot. Again, that's a 2008 black Dodge Caliber. It's a Wisconsin license plate 327F as in Frank XX. If you see this car, you're asked to call the Dane County Sheriff's Office. We have that number over on our website.
Hopefully someone can take a peek and find something. All right, Amy, thank you so much. We now know 4 different crashes on an icy bridge led authorities to close down Highway 11 in both directions this morning. Rock County deputies say around 7 a.m. a woman lost control of her pickup truck on that highway near Janesville, and her vehicle became disabled. She went outside the car to get help when another driver purposefully steered into the side of the bridge to avoid hitting her. That impact, however, sent her over the edge of the bridge and down at least 25 feet. Officials say she was talking and responsive when they arrived, but she was transported to the hospital to be checked for internal injuries. A Dodge County family is mourning after their loved one was killed in a Thanksgiving night fire. 82-year-old Eleanor Newman was planning on moving out of her home near Beaver Dam Lake in the town of Westford in just a few weeks. She died from her injuries at the hospital. Her 91-year-old husband, Ruben, was taken to the hospital as well, but he is expected to be okay. Family members say their mom was in good spirits yesterday and was able to spend her final Thanksgiving with her children and grandchildren.
This all happened all of a sudden, so we're just take it one day at a time.
The cause of that fire is still under investigation. In Kenosha, a 16-year-old boy is being tried as an adult in the shooting death of his former girlfriend. Martise Fuller is accused of murdering Kaylee Juga after breaking into her home in May. Kenosha News reports Fuller was 15 at the time and was automatically charged as an adult. His defense attorneys tried moving the case into the juvenile court system, and a psychologist argued, based on his examination, that Fuller could be rehabilitated. But the district attorney argued if he's convicted as a juvenile, Fuller could only be held in prison until he's 25 instead of potentially serving a life sentence. All right, talk about a New Year's resolution. A UW-Madison freshman is hoping to make a big change in 2020. He is running for Common Council. He said he knows there aren't a lot of young people who want to run for office. He's hoping, though, his effort will change the minds of people in his age bracket. Jamie Perez spoke with him today about what inspired him to run and what his goals are. Jamie?
Yeah, he's really a motivated person.
I bet.
Max Prestigiacomo said growing up in Madison, he's seen a lot of things that affected his family, his peers, and the community as a whole. He told me he's frustrated with conventional politics and admits that even though he knows he won't be able to get half the things done that he's wanting to change, he says this is the first step to making a real difference.
What do we want?
Climate justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
Max Prestigiacomo has been an activist for quite some time now.
And I'm here to speak on behalf of not only thousands who've been turning out to our strikes in Madison, but thousands across the state.
He may be just 18 years old.
Young people in Madison deserve a spot on this council.
But he's determined to ignite change where he sees fit.
Really, my generation is seeing right now is that the injustice perpetuated by every single system put in place is not only ineffective at policy making, at making sure the lives of people are better, it also is, really, really sticking it to those who need it and really forcing them into poverty, forcing them into situations where they can't survive.
Whose house?
He's already led some major protests here in Madison, getting hundreds to show up in support of some of the things he cares about the most.
Obviously, running as a climate activist, that is super important to me. But Madison has lots of other issues facing it. Like voting rights, that's undocumented rights, and I think that's, mental health, youth issues, youth rights, prioritizing young people in this community because I think they've been disenfranchised. Well, I know they've been disenfranchised.
He says if he's elected, he knows he faces some challenges, especially considering his age. But he said he won't measure his success by how much he's able to get done during his term.
I think my long-term goal would just be to, make a positive difference in this community, and inspire other people that share my identity, young people, LGBTQ, climate activists, to be taking, their ideas, their power to governance, boards that handle any type of governing in this country, or I guess in this planet too. We could be even taking some of this stuff to the United Nations.
While he says his hopes and dreams are much bigger than what's going on here in Madison, this is what he calls the first step in taking the things that he cares about the most to the next level.
I hope to take that and, obviously create a new system that hopefully will outlast me at making sure that young people are uplifted and actually have their voices heard.
Now, if elected, it would make him the youngest person serving on the council board. Right now, he says there's no one running against him for District 8. Elections for that position are going to be held next spring.
If nothing else, like you said, a very motivated young man.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Jamie.
Sure.
Very interesting. Some shoppers are shying away from typical big box store Black Friday sales and heading to this year's Makers Fair instead. The Madison Makers Black Friday Market and Pub Crawl, that's the important part there, showcases local artists and vendors at different breweries near downtown Madison. Organizers say they're hoping the fair encourages people to invest in the local economy instead of spending money at big corporations. Some of the vendors at today's market take it one step further by donating some of their profits to charity.
This is such an amazing thing. You know, there's all these huge big box stores all over the place that are all just reaping profits and giving nothing back to anybody for it. And look at it, every single person who sells something here, every single maker lives around here.
So next year, the Black Friday market as a whole wants to donate a portion of profits to charity. A reminder that tomorrow is the 10th annual Small Business Saturday. 74% of consumers say they are choosing to support small, independently owned businesses this year. Downtown Middleton and downtown Madison are celebrating with open houses. There's a holiday trolley running along State Street with welcome bags and treats for kids. There will be free ice cream tomorrow from 11 to 1 at the newly renovated Garver Feed Mill, and Monroe Street stores are giving away prizes like canvas bags. Next at 6, a local gaming store has a lot to celebrate this Black Friday. They're back up and running. We'll tell you why that may come as a surprise next. And a local farm is getting into the Christmas tree business after 10 years of hard work. That story is tonight on News 3 Now at 10. For the first time, Americans have shelled out more than $4 billion on Thanksgiving Day shopping online. With Thanksgiving landing 6 days later than last year, some retailers have tried to make up for lost shopping days by rolling out online deals early. While today is the best time to get something like a new TV, experts at Madison College say the biggest savings on just about everything else can be found online.
Items, I'd still go in store, but clothing, home goods, all of those other items you're going to gift, pajamas, socks, really Cyber Monday is probably your day to do it.
Black Friday sales are on pace to top $7.4 billion this year. That's an increase of about 19% from last year. A West Side game shop is officially open Again, you may remember us telling you about Pegasus Games. That's because it closed last weekend, or so we thought. Amanda Quintana is here to explain how it's back under new ownership. Amanda?
The store had been in Madison for 39 years, so many in our community were sad to see it close last Sunday, and they're even more excited to see the doors back open today. Pegasus Games now has two new co-owners, Patrick and Dennis. Negotiations to buy the store from the previous owners were still in the works when the store had its closing celebration last weekend. All the games on the shelves today. Dennis and Patrick had to quickly scramble to order just this past Monday once the deal went through and they finally knew the store would be theirs.
Although it is a new Pegasus, it's not. The beauty of Pegasus is the community that it has made, the environment that people feel just walking through the door. Everybody is welcome, and that is always going to stay the same. We will never change that because that is Pegasus. That's the beauty of the place.
Both Dennis and Patrick are gamers themselves. Dennis even got his first job as a kid at Pegasus. Both say the last few days have been a whirlwind and they can't wait to carry on what the previous owners built. Although the store will mainly stay the same, Patrick hopes to bring more Magic games and products to the store.
Very interesting. Amanda Quintana, thank you so much. Coming up in sports, the Badgers will fight to win back the axe from the Golden Gophers. Speaking of games, we will have a live report from Minneapolis. But more winter weather concerns for Thanksgiving travelers. Gary is tracking a rain, snow, freezing rain mix, a little bit of everything. Starting tonight, continuing into the weekend. Your First Alert forecast is next.
A lot of stuff going on in the forecast, especially as people are traveling, especially if you're heading north out of Madison. For pretty much the entire weekend, you're going to be running into some travel problems. Three things you need to know about the forecast. One, a wintry mix tonight, especially north of Madison. That's the area that could see a mixture of snow, sleet, freezing rain, or even some rain mixed in at times. Eventually, it'll change over to rain, but probably not until sometime tomorrow morning, so that could lead to icy travel. Then during the day tomorrow, everything will change over to just mainly rain. Temperatures should be warm enough above freezing that it will be in a liquid form, and even the precipitation will become a little more spotty with some showers in the afternoon and at night. And then that will mix with snow by early Sunday morning and then change to snow late on Sunday afternoon with the possibility for some accumulations across parts of southern Wisconsin, especially north and west of Madison. Winter weather advisories are in effect for later this evening into the overnight hours for areas north of Madison, but winter storm warnings in effect for northern Wisconsin, northern and central Minnesota, including the Twin Cities, and a blizzard warning up around Duluth for high winds off of Lake Superior. The snow is heading up toward the Twin Cities in between a mix and then rain and even a few thunderstorms over parts of Iowa. As the warmer air starts to move in, eventually this mix of precipitation will change over to rain. But you can see it could be in a mixed form. Not all of that is reaching the ground because we have that on high resolution radar. So you can see, again, areas north of Madison, north of Dane County, that's the area that is in the winter weather advisory. So we have an alert day in the forecast for tonight. There might be an inch or two of snow, maybe some minor glaze of ice. You can see on future track how that mix of precipitation by midnight is moving in and then eventually changes over to rain by early on Saturday morning as temperatures are far enough above freezing that we see mainly liquid precipitation through the day Saturday and into Saturday evening. Ice amounts are not going to be terribly high, but it doesn't take very much to get the roads slippery, especially if they're untreated. And the snow amounts, again, maybe an inch or two north of Madison, but that coupled with the ice could make the roads very slippery. Then Sunday, we have another alert day in the forecast for the tail end of the storm that could bring a 1 to 3 inch snowfall, mainly north and west of Madison, higher amounts up into central Wisconsin, and that will lead to additional travel problems. Live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison. Quiet here. We don't have any rain or snow falling in Madison. High today 35, the low 31. Right now, we're just below that high of the day at 34. Skies are mostly cloudy. The wind's out of the east at 6 miles per hour. The wind chill is at 29. So our forecast includes that winter weather advisory for areas north of Dane County, beginning at 9 p.m. for Richland, Juneau, and Adams counties, and at midnight elsewhere, and that runs until noon tomorrow. Look for cloudy skies and then a mixture of rain, snow, sleet, and freezing rain developing, changing to rain by morning, a low of 33, and then rising temperatures. And then tomorrow, that mix of precipitation will be all rain, high of 40, and see just some scattered showers in the afternoon. It'll be windy through the day. 7 to 10 day forecast. Temperatures in the 30s for next week, but notice the lack of precipitation. Actually looks pretty nice for most of next week into the following weekend. There could be a chance of rain or snow Sunday night into Monday of the following week.
Well, the Gophers have had possession of Paul Bunyan's axe for 370 days. And for the Badgers, that's 370 days too long. Jay Wilson joins us from Minneapolis ahead of the axe game. That's next in sports. All right, so I don't need to tell you how big of a deal this week is. The Axe has been in possession of the Golden Gophers since November 24th, 2018, and that's more than enough for the Badgers, but they'll have to battle some elements along with our crew, and those elements too. Jay Wilson joining us live from Minneapolis, where it is a bit chillier than here. Hey there, Jay.
Hi, Melissa. Good evening, everyone. Well, it's another beautiful night here in Minneapolis. The winter storm warning begins at 9 o'clock tonight. 6 to 12 inches of snow expected from Minneapolis and north, but at least the winds will be blowing hard, gusting up to 40 miles an hour. So it's going to be interesting to see what tomorrow brings when the Badgers and Gophers play at TCF Bank Stadium at 2:30. Of course, the winner gets the Big Ten West Championship. Remember a year ago when the Badgers lost to the Gophers at Camp Randall Stadium? Alex Hornibrook had a hard time telling the difference between a Badger uniform and a Gopher uniform. He threw 3 interceptions in that 37-15 Minnesota win. The first time in 14 years Paul Bunyan's Axe left Wisconsin's sideline. In the Badger locker room, there's a big blank case where the Axe used to live, and the players see that every day.
Kind of have that image in your head when you're going to lift or you're going to work out or get extra film study and do what you got to do. So it's always an image that's in our head when we're going throughout our day, and we're always thinking about it. And the week's finally here, and we finally get to prepare.
It's been grinding at us for, what was it, like 356 days. So, yeah, it's been eating at me for a while. It's been eating at us for a while.
Jonathan Taylor told me this week that he hates to be a member of the team that lost the Axe last year. He remembers the faces of the seniors of that team, and he wants to be a part of the team that brings that Axe back to Wisconsin. Of course, that tomorrow probably going to be Jonathan Taylor's last regular season game, as he'll likely go pro, but we will see how that all develops. Badgers and Gophers, 2:30 tomorrow. And Melissa Kim, glad you made it back from out east safely.
Yes, thank you very much, Jay. Stay warm out there. Lots of jackets, lots of hats, lots of coats, everything, right? Well, a lot of injuries to chat about for the Packers. Brian Bulaga, Tony Brown, and Will Redmond all listed as questionable for Sunday's game at the Giants. So offensive tackle Jared Veld here joining the squad today. The Packers getting him off of waivers, but he'll start on the exempt list because technically he retired from football 6 months ago. On the other side of the ball, defensive coordinator Mike Pettin visibly exasperated today since he took over Dom Capers. The Packers have gone backwards in every statistical category.
Yeah, it's been frustrating because it's every game that we play well for stretches and we can be dominant for stretches. I mean, you look at the first 20 plays against San Francisco. And I think a lot of it is a consistency thing, and that's something that we've battled in the room. We're talking about guys that, we have to be able to focus on our jobs.
And the women's hockey team on the road in Nashville for the appropriately named Country Classic. The Badgers facing Harvard as we speak. The Crimson are 5-2 overall this year. They've lost their last 2 games. Right now, the Badgers up 1-0 in the third, thanks to Presley Norby's goal in the first period.
I'm wondering if the football team would appreciate Nashville weather a little more.
I think they would. Let's take a look, first of all, at radar here. You can see that wintry mixed precipitation heading for southwestern Wisconsin. Temperatures are just barely above freezing, so keep an eye out on the road, especially if you're traveling north of Madison tonight.
Absolutely. Stay safe. We'll have an update on those weather conditions at 10.